Hello and welcome to CMA Channel 16 News. I'm Cameron.
And I'm Georgia.
Today we have a report on a rare genetic disorder known as Tay-Sachs disease.
Tay-Sachs disease destroys nerve cells in the brain and spinal cord due to a buildup of gangliosides in the body.
Let's start with the genetic basis of this disorder. Tay-Sachs results from a defective gene on chromosome 15, the gene that produces hex A, which is a group of proteins that help break down gangliosides, is deleted. Without it, gangliosides take over the body. In particular, ganglioside GM2 builds up in cells and causes neural destruction, which sadly begins well before birth.
Next up is the transmission of Tay-Sachs disease. We will cover the process of meiosis and fertilization and how it leads to this genetic disorder. Both parents must be carriers of the defective gene on chromosome 15. When cells undergo meiosis to form gametes, the child inherits two copies of chromosome 15 inherit defective hex A genes and is born with the disease. Tay-Sachs mostly affects people of Ashkenazi Jewish descent.
These Punnett squares show how Tay-Sachs is passed from parent to child. In both cases, the mother is a carrier, but the father differs. In the square on the left, he has Tay-Sachs and therefore has a 50% chance of having a child with Tay-Sachs disease and a 50% chance of having children who are carriers. However, this is purely hypothetical because people with Tay-Sachs typically don't survive more than 5 years. In the square on the right, which is more likely to occur, the father is a carrier and only has a 25% chance of having a child with Tay-Sachs. 50% of the children will be carriers and the other 25% will be healthy. This karyotype shows where the defective gene is located.
Tay-Sachs disease presents with many symptoms. Some of them are deafness, decreased eye contact, and possibly even blindness, a decreased muscle tone, and a loss of muscle strength, learning disabilities, dementia, an increased startle reaction, irritability, listlessness, a loss of motor skills, paralysis, seizures, and slow growth. The picture on the left shows a brain scan of a child with Tay-Sachs disease. It shows the cherry red spot that is an indicator of Tay-Sachs. It appears bright red because it is surrounded by the milky halo in the retina that results from blindness. The loss of vision and the resulting halo is due to an accumulation of gangliosides.
The prognosis for Tay-Sachs is poor and treatment options are limited. The first symptoms usually appear between the ages of 3 and 10 months. Symptoms steadily worsen over the child's lifetime and leads to death by the age of 4 or 5. There is no specific treatment for Tay-Sachs, only ways to ease the symptoms and make the person more comfortable.
The ethical question we posed for Tay-Sachs disease is, should expectant parents undergo genetic testing in order to determine if their baby has Tay-Sachs so they can make a decision about whether or not to terminate the pregnancy? The first issue this brings up is the idea of genetic testing itself. Some people believe that it should not be done for religious or other reasons. Others argue with abortion for similar reasons and disagree with genetic testing because it can lead expectant parents to terminate a pregnancy they otherwise would have carried to term. Genetic testing can be a good thing, though, because if parents know that their child has a genetic disorder before birth, they can prepare for the baby's arrival. The social question we posed for Tay-Sachs disease is, how does the prospect of a child's early death from Tay-Sachs affect the psychological health of a family? Families with a terminally ill child are likely to travel and spend time together while they can, but knowing that they don't have a lot of time together can lead the other family members to be depressed and anxious, which can lead to tensions within the family. The medical question we posed for Tay-Sachs disease is, what progress is being made on treatments and cures for Tay-Sachs? This disease is so rare that it is not being heavily researched, but some progress has been made in recent years. Cord blood transplants can be used to treat babies while they are still in the womb at 12 to 14 weeks of pregnancy. Cord blood stem cells from a healthy donor are injected directly into the baby's abdomen to provide healthy genes that replace the defective, dysfunctional ones. Gene replacement therapy is another option for treating and possibly curing Tay-Sachs disease that is currently being researched. And finally, here are our sources. This has been CMA Channel 16 News. Thanks for watching.